Good morning. It's been a really long time since I did a what I eat in a day today video. So today's the day. So let me show you what I ate in a day. Well, it's rise and shine. And this morning, of course, I'm going to start with coffee. It's going to be the very first thing that I have. And then in about 30 minutes, I'll have fueling number one. So let's start with a good hot cup of coffee. So it's time for fueling number one. What I typically do, I've had 1 cup of coffee. My second cup of coffee, I mix in a scoop of Primal Kitchen collagen peptides. That goes into my second cup of coffee. It has no flavor. I'm really hoping to be able to reverse some of the damage that I've done to my body, stretching out my skin. And if you were in the Element 3 discussion or you've watched it, you know we talked about bat wings, which is probably the thing that I am the most conscious of because it's the one saggy area that everybody can see if I wear short sleeves, and I'm trying to not be so conscious about it, but I'm hoping that the collagen will help with that. I've been taking it for a couple of months now. It's just gonna take time. So my fueling number one this morning is the Frosted Cinnamon Spice Crisp Bar. I'm gonna have this. I've got a couple of things that I need to do this morning, so I'm gonna show those to you shortly, but I'm gonna have this first, enjoy it, watch a little bit of news, and then I will come back and do a couple of things with you in preparation for the rest of my day and my week. My next task for the day is that I need to go ahead and do my bags for the week. So when I unbox my fuelings, I put them all into these clear plastic bins. These all came from Amazon. If you want to have these exact same ones, you can let me know, and I'll put the link for the ones that I bought. It was a year ago. I think I can find it. And in the description box in case you want them. It came with 4 of these larger size and then 2 of these smaller ones. The smaller ones are perfect for bars. I put the more breakfasty ones, which are the pink label ones, in one box, and then the sweeter chocolatey ones that come in the blue and the purple labels, those go in another box. And then this is my breakfast bin. So it has oatmeal and pancakes. This is my savory bin. The potatoes go in here, soups. I've got a couple of penne, chili, the savory kind of things go here. This is all shakes and drinks. So all of my shakes, hot chocolate is in there, the frothy cappuccino, which makes delicious ice cream. That goes in here. And then this is all of the sweet stuff, the brownies, the cookies, the pudding. I have some cinnamon cream cheese swirl cake. I actually have 2 more boxes in my pantry, and then when they're gone, they're gone. And then this is the coffee soft serve and the butterscotch blondie. So that all goes there and just makes it really easy to pick. By the way, I don't know if you saw my post on Facebook, I used my very last buttermilk herb biscuit mix this week. Actually on Friday I had it, which was the 22nd of July 2023 was when I ate my very last one. And when I made it, I looked at the expiration date or the Best Buy date on the back of the package, and it said 7/22/2023. How ironic is that I ate the last one on the very last day that it was good. It didn't go bad. And they don't go bad. So when you see those dates, don't think your stuff has gone bad. Some of the crunchy stuff does go a little stale. And speaking of crunchy stuff, I also have I don't have another plastic bin. And I don't always have these types of things. I've started to have them a little bit more than I used to. But I keep a variety of the crunchy bagged things in here. So I've got some of the red berry O's. I've got zesty cheddar and Italian herb crunchers. I've got a honey mustard stick. I've got some smoky barbecue crunchers and some cinnamon sugar sticks. So I just pull a few bags and keep them in here, and then keep the boxes in my pantry to refill. And then you've seen my weekly list that has all of my fuelings on there. I have these gallon size or quart size Ziploc bags that are labeled for the days of the week. I've used these same bags week after week after week. And all I do is I look at Monday and it says I need a creamy double peanut butter crisp bar. I'm gonna do a pancake as a waffle. And when I do that, it makes 2 waffles because I combine the pancake, that's oatmeal. I combine the pancake, this is a chocolate chip pancake. I'm gonna combine it with a peanut butter shake. So this is gonna make 2 waffles for me. So I will do one today and then I'll do another one later in the week, so I won't have to put that in Wednesday's bag because that's also there. So pancake as a waffle, that goes there. The sour cream and chive potatoes are going in. A chocolate shake is going in. And I'm gonna make a sandwich cookie. So that also is gonna take 3 fuelings. I think that I'm going to do an oatmeal. So I'm gonna use the maple oatmeal with the chocolate chip cookie, and then I'm gonna do a chocolate filling. So that's gonna go there. Now this uses 3 packets, so it's going to make 3 fuelings, and it's gonna be spread out throughout the week. So some of my other bags are not gonna be nearly as full as this Monday bag. And let me show you what I mean. So Tuesday, cinnamon spice bar, apple oatmeal, the wild rice, I don't have wild rice soup. I have the chicken noodle soup, so I'm gonna use that. Peanut butter shake. And then I'm not gonna put in the sandwich cookie number 2 because that's coming out of what I made on Monday. So this bag is a little bit thinner. On Wednesday, I am doing the cinnamon sticks. The pancake as a waffle that came out of Monday, so I don't need to put that in there. The garlic potatoes. The peanut butter chocolate bar, and then a sandwich cookie. So again, that 3rd sandwich cookie from what I made Monday, I'm gonna have on Wednesday. So that's already done, and I'm good to go on Wednesday. I'm gonna continue for the rest of the week and just pull stuff into my bag and see what I come up with. When I finish going through this and I finish bagging up all of my fuelings, I also pull any extra stuff that I have in my pantry and try to replenish my boxes a little bit just to make sure that they're always full. And then I never feel like I'm panicked. I do try to order my box when I still have about 2 weeks left of fueling, so I always stay ahead. I typically order 23 to 24 boxes so that I have extra fuelings all the time because I don't want to run out, and in case something happens like a strike with UPS, I know that I've got some extras on hand, or if somebody locally runs out and says, help, I need some fuelings, I've got the ability to help them out with that. So that's how I manage my program. My next thing is I need to go grocery shopping. So yesterday I worked on a Saturday, which I don't usually do, but we had a conference and I worked the conference, and Saturday is usually my grocery shopping day. So it's Sunday, I'm gonna try to hit the grocery store, get that done so I can still get to church today. So let's go to the grocery store. Okay, so I am heading to the grocery store, and I am not going to talk on while I'm driving, but I am going to head over there and do a little bit of grocery shopping. It's early, so I'm going to go and do that, and I might take you into the store with me, maybe not, but let's head to the grocery store. One thing that I will say about when you go out of the house, please make sure that you bring water. So I've got 40 ounces of water with me. even though I know I'm gonna be home before it's time for my next fueling, I always have a stash of bars in my bag. That just makes sure that I have a fueling in case something happens. What if my car breaks down and I get stuck out waiting for a tow truck and it's fueling time? I am covered. So do make sure, you never know what's going to happen. Always be prepared. Have extras always on hand, and that way you are guaranteed to be able to stay on plan regardless of the situation. It's way too hard for me to vlog while I'm in the store because I actually need to have my list open, which is on my phone, because I forgot to bring the paper with me, so I can't cross things off. And so that's why I'm not marking anything. I'm not recording anything while I'm shopping, but I'll show you my haul when I'm done. So I'm home from the grocery store, and I wanted to show you my grocery haul and kind of explain something to you. So I shopped at Super Walmart this time. It's close. It's the closest grocery store to me. And if I don't need a lot of proteins, then I will run there because it's fast. I also wanted to make sure I didn't have time to get to church today. So I went early this morning and did this haul. Now I'm going to put a pic screenshot of both my weekly plan, which if you follow me on Facebook, you've seen, as well as my grocery list, and explain something to you. So let me put those here. Okay, so my weekly plan shows you what fuelings I'm having. Those don't require anything for me to buy anything from the store because I just use water with those. And then my lean and green meals are listed. 2 of them are leftovers because I still have stuff in the freezer. And then the rest of the things are recipes that I'm going to make. And so my grocery list is made based on the ingredients that I need for those lean and green recipes. Plus I get a few things for my husband, which add to the fray. For the most part, I marked things that I'm buying for him with a blue star, and then things that I already have on hand, typically seasonings and other things, those are marked with an orange star so I don't have to buy them. So I spent $107. That is for a week of groceries plus some extra stuff. So really, I spend less than $100 a week, and that's pretty typical for groceries for my husband and I for our dinners. And then I do occasionally, like if I go to Kroger, I may buy him some salami, pepperoni kind of stuff, extra cheese, crackers, things like that. But I am typically around $100 a week for groceries for the 2 of us. Let me show you what I got. And first of all, 2 gallons of distilled water. That's for my husband for his CPAP machine, so that's there. Half and half, which is also for my husband. Every once in a while, I have a recipe that uses half and half as the healthy fat. So I might take a couple of tablespoons, but this is for him. Also, a half a gallon of 2% milk. That's also for my husband. I have a quart of egg beaters. I am going to be making some cauliflower pizza crusts and taco shells today, so I need to have that. Some unsweetened almond milk. I use this occasionally in recipes that call for it, and so what I'll do is I'll buy a container like this and then I'll freeze it in smaller quantities because that's all I ever use it for, and if I don't freeze it, then it will go bad. So I needed to replenish my freezer stash of almond milk, so that's there. Some ricotta cheese. This is part skim ricotta. This is for a recipe, as well as Parmesan cheese. People ask all the time about, oh, I can't find reduced fat Parmesan cheese. Most Parmesan cheese falls into the reduced fat category. Just look at the label, look at the total fat, not the saturated fat, but the total fat. It should be less than 6 grams, 6 or less grams of fat. This is 1.5 grams of fat, so definitely fits in. I don't usually buy Kraft, but the kind that they have, I like the grated kind. I don't like the kind in the can, and this is what they had at Walmart, and I needed to replenish that. I also have a small container of non-fat Greek yogurt. This is also obviously for a recipe. And Walmart carries a reduced fat in the Fiesta blend. If I shop at Kroger, I can get a reduced fat cheddar. So you just kind of have to get what you get. I would love to be able to find blocks of reduced fat cheese and grate my own, but I can't find it, so that's what I get. These are actually not for recipe this week, but I love these fine green beans, so I like to have a stash in case I need an extra vegetable. So I got 2 bags of those. So that added to my grocery cost, but it's not something I'm even going to eat this week. It's just going to go in the freezer for the future. I did get a 12-ounce bag of spinach, which is going to go into my salmon Florentine. Also, I got some chicken breast. That's for another recipe. Unsweetened coconut flakes. I'm going to be making some air fry shrimp. Coconut shrimp, so I needed the unsweetened coconut, and also some blanched slivered almonds for a Caesar salad recipe. San Marzano tomatoes, I am making another batch of my marinara sauce. I will put the link to that in the comments box down below. And also right here, if you want to click on that to watch that video. Look for certified San Marzano tomatoes. And yes, you will pay more, but let me tell you why you want this. Because the San Marzano tomatoes are specially grown, and they're lower in acid, which means you don't miss not having the sugar in your marinara sauce, which normally cuts the acid. So pay a little more, get the certified San Marzano. Don't just look for it to say San Marzano, because some people put it on there and it's not actually San Marzano tomatoes. Look for the ones that are certified San Marzano. Cento actually has a San Marzano Italian style tomatoes that are not, they're the Italian tomatoes, but they're not San Marzano. So make sure you get the ones that say certified. I have all of those. I needed a cucumber. I'm making some cauliflower crust, so I needed the cauliflower, a couple of lemons, a couple of avocados for Taco Tuesday, some green onions, some romaine, and some leaf lettuce, a litter scoop because I needed to replace my cat litter scoop. And I also got my husband 2 8-packs of Gatorade because he works outside and he needs that Gatorade. So again, that also was on my, out of my grocery list. Really, people say Optavia is expensive, but I spend maybe $500 and usually less on a box. So that's $125 a week, plus my groceries, less than $100 a week, typically, or right around $100 a week. So I'm spending about $225 a week in food. I think that's a pretty good grocery budget for 2 adults for a week. So that's what I did. I am going to make my next fueling, which I'm going to do a pancake shake waffle. I'm going to get that done and get my groceries put away, and then I'm going to church. How I made the waffles. One of these is for today. The other one I will have tomorrow or the day after. I'm getting ready to leave for church, and so I wanted to kind of show you how I planned this day intentionally. So I had my first fueling at 6:40 this morning. That was the bar you saw. I'm stretching to 3 hours till fueling number 2. So one of these will be fueling number 2. I will have this as I'm driving on the way to church. And then I'm going to stretch another 3 hours, I hope, for fueling number 3, so that I hope that I'm home in time to have this one as fueling number 3. Otherwise, I'll have it as fueling number 4. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to make the potatoes into potato soup. I've had people ask me how to do this, and so I wanted to show you how I do this. I have the water just finished boiling in my electric kettle back there behind me. So I'm going to dump the fueling in here and grab my kettle. I do not measure the water, so I just dump in the water. This is a 16 ounce, and I don't fill it all the way up, but it's probably got at least 12 ounces of water in there, and I just take a whisk it really good, kind of make sure you scrape across the bottom in case anything is settled. And then seal it up. And this is gonna sit here while I go to church. Now, it's possible that church will run late, something will happen, and I will get stuck out. So I just told you that, always be prepared. I have bars in my bag, but I'm gonna take with me a zesty cheddar and Italian herb crunchers just in case I'm still out at 12:40 when I should have my next fueling. I've also had one 40-ounce bottle of water already today, so this is filled and ready to go. I will try to get this down between now and the time I get to fueling number 3, so I'll have 80 ounces of water down, and then for the rest of the day, I will work on that final 48 ounces of water so I can get that gallon in. So let's go to church. I made it home in time. So I'm having my mashed potato soup or potato soup fueling. And as you can see, it's super thick potato soup consistency. It is so good. This is gonna be my afternoon fueling number 3. I have had 80 ounces of water. So I'm gonna fill up my water bottle and work on another 40 ounces over the afternoon. Then the last 8 ounces is usually what I take my supplements with before I go to bed. But I'll be back in a little bit for fueling number 4. The last thing as far as food prep that I'm gonna do today, now that I've had my wonderful soup fueling, is I'm gonna make fueling number 5, but this is gonna make 3 fuelings, so 2 of them will be saved for later. I'm going to do one of my cookies. I haven't done these in a while for myself. And so I'm using 3 fueling packets to make 3 fuelings. I'm gonna do the cookies, and I'm gonna use 2 decadent chocolate brownie mixes and 1 maple and brown sugar oatmeal. And the way that I do this is I combine the 3 fuelings into one bowl. And I'm not weighing this one, and I'll tell you why. Because I know that I can get 3 of these scoops from 1 fueling. So each one of my cookies is going to consist of 3 of those scoops, and that should make it even if I do 3 even scoops per, and then if there's any left, I'll just kind of try to divide it as equally as possible, but there's usually not any leftovers. So I'm combining the oatmeal with the brownie. I'm gonna give it just a little bit of a stir. Kind of pre-combine it a little bit. And then I am going to use about 9 tablespoons of water. So that's 3 per fueling, 3, 6, 9, and that should be sufficient. So each one of these is 4. So that's 8 tablespoons. I'm gonna put another 4 in here. I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon-ish. And I'm just gonna see, I want this mixture to be fairly thick. I am gonna let it sit for just a few minutes to allow the oatmeal to hydrate just a little bit. And so I'm gonna mix it. Right now I have my oven preheating to 375. And then I have a parchment lined baking sheet, and I do have a little bit of nonstick spray on there. That just helps to make sure nothing sticks to that parchment. It usually doesn't stick very much, but I always want to have just that little bit of assurance so I'm not leaving any of my fueling behind on the parchment. I make sure that I break up lumps. I scrape the bottom of the bowl really well to make sure there's no dry pockets, and just kind of like break up anything that looks like a little lump with my spatula. I've got a nice big lump right there. That's going to be some dry stuff that needs hydration. And then I'm going to let this sit for 10 minutes. And in that 10 minutes, and you can see right now, I'll show you the consistency right now is really like cake batter, right? It's a little bit on the runny side. It's not gonna do well as a cookie, but if I let it sit for about 10 minutes, and that will give my oven time to fully preheat, then the mixture will kind of absorb a lot of the water. It'll become a little bit thicker. It's already getting thicker, and I will be able to scoop it into cookies. So let this wait for like 10-15 minutes, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so it's not super thick, but it's a lot thicker than it was. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my scoop, and I am going to make 3 piles. So I'm gonna make 3 big cookies. You could do this in 6 smaller piles, but I'm gonna try 3 big piles. Again, I'm gonna try to do very equal scoops so that my cookies are the same size. And like I said, I've done this before, so I know that 3 of these scoops equals a fueling, roughly 3. So I should be able to put 1 more scoop on each. Looks like I might have a little bit extra. Definitely gonna have a little bit extra. So let's try a 1/2 scoop per, less than 1/2. Now, if my mixture was thicker, if I had used a little less water, then I might need to flatten out my cookies a little bit, but I have the feeling that these are gonna flatten themselves out enough as they cook. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit more on each one. And a little bit of a spread. And then I'm gonna pop these in the oven for, I think I'm gonna try 15 minutes. See how they look. I might want them a little bit more done. I don't like my cookies too gooey. I like them to be a little bit, not crispy, but a little crispier than gooier. So I'm gonna pop these in for 15 minutes, check them, maybe rotate the pan, and then I'll show you what they look like when they're all done. I forgot I do have one other thing that I need to do while those cookies are baking, and that is to make my ice cream fueling. So I have the Dash My Pint My Pint ice cream maker. This is the strawberry shake and water that has been sitting in my refrigerator mixed up since this morning. I have that all mixed up. The freezer part has been in the freezer for more than 24 hours, actually probably closer to 48. So I scrape all of that in there, plug in this, turn it on, drop it in. I put this on a towel so that if this walks around a little bit, it doesn't walk this part off. And this is gonna run for 20 minutes. And then I will pull this out and throw it in the freezer just to let it get a little bit more like ice cream texture. When it's time for my ice cream fueling, I'll show you what that looks like too. But we'll come back in a little bit to look at the cookies. Great, so cookies are all done. You can see they're still soft. They're not crunchy at all, but that's all right. They're gonna be delicious that way. Each one of those is a fueling. And then I finished my ice cream. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scrape it into this container. I let this run for 20 minutes. I'm gonna get off as much as I can. And I have a really firm scraper, so not like a rubber one. This one's like a harder plastic that I have for my food processor. So that's gonna scrape what's really frozen to the sides and the bottom. And as you can, I'll show you in just a second, I was able to scrape everything out. You can see it's all gone from the inside there. So I'm just gonna take this ice cream and I'm gonna pop it into the freezer. I'm not due for another fueling for about another hour. So I'm gonna pop this into the freezer, and then this will be my fueling number 4. And I'll show you the consistency in a little bit. Strawberry ice cream, it's really good. Okay, time for fueling number 4. Here's the ice cream. You can see that it's definitely still soft, but it is so creamy, and it's like strawberry ice cream. I'm gonna enjoy this fueling as fueling number 4, and I will see you back here for my lean and green tonight. If you've been following me at all the last couple of weeks, you know that I've been doing some cleaning out my refrigerator. And so that's what this is. This is a beef and vegetable soup. I'm gonna stand over here so you can see me through the mist here. It's got broccoli, cauliflower, green beans, beef stock. I will put a recipe either in the description box or the link to the video. I think I made a video on this one. But this, normally I don't do soup in the summer, but look, trying to clean out my refrigerator because I know my husband's gonna be going hunting and we gotta make some room. So freezer's getting cleaned out. I'm gonna eat this beef and vegetable soup as my lean and green. This is a complete lean and green. It has all the lean, the greens, and the condiments all right in here. I'm gonna enjoy this. And then I will see you back here for fueling number 6, which or fueling number 5, which is my 6th fueling of the day, which is sitting right here, ready to go. It's been a long day. I am going to have my final fueling of the day and go to bed. It has been, I've gotten so much done today, and it's amazing how much more energy I have now that I've lost weight. Tomorrow's weigh-in day. I'm a little apprehensive about tomorrow. By the time you see this, you'll have already seen the reality check, so you'll already know how I did by the time you see this, because this isn't going to go up until Wednesday, and my reality check will be on Monday. But I'm going to finish editing. This one's kind of a long video. It's almost done. I really just have to edit this and put in the titles and a few other things. And it will be good to go. And it feels good. I've made some videos today, so I'm excited about that. I kind of have been slacking on videos, just haven't had a lot of inspiration, but hopefully some ideas will start flowing and I'll get some more videos for you. Please like, please subscribe, please share my videos. I would really appreciate it. It really does help me. If you've hung out this far, I deserve a thumbs up for that. So please do that for me. Subscribe if you haven't. Leave me ideas for videos in the comments box. I would really appreciate that as well. And until I see you next time, please live in the light.